Welcome to the Queen Amina Show on Nollywood Broadcasting. Today I'm sitting here with the very, very important Senegalese ambassador to the United States, Babacar Diagne. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Welcome to my show. Yeah, I was reading about you and I found out that you were a journalist.
Yes, first, thanks for having me. I've been in the TV business for over 30 years. I've been a reporter, desk manager, television director, director general of television and radio. I've even been advisor in communication for State House. So I've seen it all, and that's my career. In fact, I've just been appointed ambassador 2 years ago, and my first assignment was the Gambia.
Quite interesting. How, what a switch from being a journalist to an ambassador.
Yes, in fact, answering a question about that a few months ago with some TV guy also, I told him, the difference is when you are a journalist, you collect information to just broadcast. In diplomacy, you collect information to keep it for you and use it secretly. That's the main difference. But I mean, it's all about collecting information anyway. Because where you assign, you say it or no, you're there to collect information for your country and just tell your country what is the situation in that country where you are in order to just build the best politics possible between the two countries. And that's my job. So the difference is just in the diplomacy, we just use information differently, but it's just collecting information.
As an ambassador to of the Senegalese in Gambia, I understood you are a big time supporter of the women organization there, where you were able to raise millions of dollars for these women to be able to carry on whatever programs they're doing. And in Africa, it's understanding that when you do these things, there's a lot of response and support to enable you to achieve these things. Being an ambassador to the Senegalese in United States, what challenges did you see come if you want to do the same thing like you did in the Gambia?
It's almost the same challenges. I believe in women. And I think that in Africa, if you want things to move forward, you have to believe in women. In most of our countries, women are over 50%. In my country, it's from 52 to 53. And even if you go lower, for example, if you go to the, let's say, 25 years old or 20 years old, it can be up to 60% of women. So you have to believe in them. What also is noticed as far as the political field is concerned, when you want to mobilize, it's the woman you see. In all the sectors, it's the woman you see. In my country, excuse me, women have been doing a lot in business, in every sector. And I thought, and that is also, I mean, believed in my country. And fortunately, nowadays, in many African countries, we have to invest in women. So I did it in the Gambia because we have there a big Senegalese diaspora, and we are now around 100 million CFA. And here in the States, we'll do the same. We'll do the same. I'm in touch with the lady, and that's a lady also, who is in charge of funding the women in the diaspora. Her name is Nata Sambake. I talked to her recently, and she started already doing that in the state. She was in New York, she did that, and hopefully we will go on and trying to bring even bigger amounts of money to help them work. Because we have noticed, and that the statistics tell that if you give grants to women, they, they, they pay back. If you give, for example, 50 million to women, you'll have your money back. If you give 50 million to men, you'll have 25% back. So the women are more trustworthy, let's say. and really that's a good thing to invest in women.
So, what do you have to say for the men that don't believe in women, or for the organization that don't believe in women? What advice do you have for our audience?
I think they really don't get it right. Even if you consider our history, we've had heroines. I mean, women heroes, as I can say. If you come to the Senegal, for example, we've had numerous examples of women who really lost their lives fighting for freedom. Yes, fighting for freedom, for democracy. And today we're celebrating the Women's Day. In Kazama, they have someone called Aline Sitoé Diatta, who really fought and died in Mali because she was deported in Mali, fighting the colonialists, fighting colonialism. We had also in northern part of the country a big example called Women of Nder. Nder was a small village, and the women were there while the men was in the field or somewhere else, and people came, warriors coming from northern part of the country, from in fact the Mauritania and Algeria, to abduct them, and the women preferred get into their huts and just set fire on the huts, just to die in spite of being abducted. And that fight for freedom has always been there. And after independence, in the fight for development, the women were also very present. As you know, we've had prime minister, woman prime minister. We have now what we call parity. In all the elected structures, you have to have half women, half men now in Senegal. And then we're really going forward because we put that focus on putting the woman first, emancipating them in all areas. We have our societies, and we know we don't have elite societies. We have some, like let's say, some curses in African societies, like early marriage, and even in some tribes we have circumcision, and that's really a big curse in our societies. And in Senegal, where we have that in the southern part of the country, it's the woman who just stood up and said no. We will not tolerate any more genital cuttings, and we'll stop that. And the government was obliged to pass a law forbidding for good the cutting of genital, organs for women, and that's really a big achievement. In all our societies, and particularly in Senegal, in West Africa, the women are just forward, and this is really, awesome, really.
Thank you for those of you just joining us. You're on to the Queen Amina Show on Nollywood Broadcasting, and I'm here talking to the Senegalese ambassador to the United States in person of Babacar Diagne. I hope I'm pronouncing that well. Okay. Fantastic. It takes a real man to understand women and pull out the strength in women. And that's exactly what you're doing. We're very, very proud of you. As an African woman myself, when I see people like you that are talking so much about women and empowering women, I am very, very honored to be a woman, especially an African woman. Thank you very much. For tonight, we're just going to talk a little bit about tonight, and I'll let you go. I know you're very busy, man. What are we expecting tonight? You've been in the office in the United States for about
3 months.
about 3 months, but you're making such a huge wave already. I heard about you in Canada. So that's going across the continent already. Keep doing the good things that you're doing. But just a quick question for you. How difficult has it been from the switch from the Gambia to United States in your office?
Yeah, let's say it's a big switch. Gambia is very small. The difference would be you have a few issues, but delicate issues. Here, it's huge. It's the whole cooperation between Senegal and the United States, Africa and the United States. The issues of terrorism, issues of development, issues of security. As you know, we have been, it was organized by the U.S. Department and the White House, the Security Summit recently here. And we've been, of course, in that. We've been active. And we know in our region, in West Africa, In Nigeria, you have Boko Haram. You have the Mali problem. And we are doing a good cooperation, I mean, between us, Senegalese, Nigerian, West Africans, and the US to just fight terrorism. We have, of course, a big percentage of Muslims in those countries, and we know those guys are just hiding behind religion, but they are criminals. We know that they're just criminals, and we have learned recently that now Boko Haram is linked to ISIS, and I mean we could foresee that they have the same goals, and they're just having the Islamic cover, but they are criminals, and we're seeing with the USA how to fight that. In our countries, unfortunately, very often we don't have the means to combat terrorism. That happened in Mali, and Senegal, as you know, has a border with Mali. And they also, when the terrorist groups came, they really took very easily and quickly much territory. And so the issues are bigger here. They are more important. But in the Gambia, you have also other issues which are delicate, which are important, but it's different.
Wow, that's some deep information. And yeah, I wish you all the best in your office here in the United States. But for tonight, you're here supporting the International Women Empowerment. What are we to expect tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to come and pay tribute as an ambassador, as an African ambassador, as a Senegalese ambassador, to a woman, African woman and Senegalese woman. Because this day is very symbolic, and as I told you, our women in Africa and in Senegal has played such a big role that really we have to pay tribute to what they have done. And tonight I'll talk to them. I will tell them our pride. I will tell them that it's good to celebrate, okay, that day, but we just look forward. Yeah, we have to look forward. We don't have to look just back and celebrate what they've been doing in the past. We have to, from now onwards, look at the future, see what our women can do and do more and better for the empowerment of women in Africa.
Thank you very much. It was very nice having you at my show. For those of you just joining us again, it's the Queen Amina Show on Nollywood Broadcasting, talking here with the ambassador, Senegalese ambassador to the United States, in person of Babacar Diagne. Thank you once again for coming on my show, and you're very welcome. Good luck. Thank you.